Welcome to another episode of the High Level Release Radar, where we recap the releases that rolled out from this week. We are in the week of April 1st to the 5th. Ryan, happy Friday.
Welcome to Friday. It'll soon be over, I guess.
It's been another heck of a week when it comes to releases. They continue to come fast and furious. We've got some good ones to dig into today. Once again, I haven't looked at the deck ahead of time, so I think I've already forgotten about a bunch of these, so it should be fun to go through.
Yeah.
And as always, thanks everybody for watching. If you are seeing this, please say hello in the comments so that we can make sure we are in fact streaming live. I believe that we are, so hopefully we see some comments come through. Let us know from where you're watching and how your week's gone. Ryan, are we ready to hop into the releases?
Absolutely. I'm ready as ever.
Let's fire up the doc here and see what you've prepared for us. It was April Fool's Day week. Did you see any good April Fool's?
I didn't see any great ones, but I was kind of waiting. We had some cheesy jokes on a few of the team calls, but other than that, we just had a couple of laughs.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I fell for anything this year, which was good.
No. We're getting too old for that.
All right, release number 1, workflows, automate contact follower management. This is cool. I guess at a certain point you would lose the follower and now you don't.
Yeah. So the idea here is that, you can have, instead of assigning specific users, you can have followers for them.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, you can kind of have somebody that keeps tabs on what's happening with a specific contact. Let's say that they're kind of like overseeing a process, maybe an onboarding process. And after that onboarding process is over, you want to like remove them as a follower so that follow-up communications and things that are happening, they're not getting notifications about and so forth. So this is a way to kind of use granular kind of permission management in terms of what you're assigned to or what you're following with contacts in an automated way within workflows.
Nice. I like it. So those either working with followers, you should enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Next up, Conversations got a UI enhancement for WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. This is a pretty small one, right? We basically just put some helper text in here to make it clear about like when the 24-hour window is in effect.
Exactly. So for those of you who aren't familiar, there's a lot of policies around when you can message people on Facebook, when you can't. Same thing with WhatsApp. There's kind of a different structure there. And instead of the message just failing and you wondering what's happening, we're telling you, hey, this is why you can't send a message at this time, or why there might be an issue there. So should cut down on support tickets, both for SaaSpreneurs and also our support team too.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, another minor one, but it's pretty cool. You can now do the subscript and superscript in text editor. So if you need to do like meters squared or what's another common example of that?
TM.
Trademark. There you go. Yeah. So we can now do that. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was cool. So Calendar's got an update with the buffer. So we always had buffers, but before it worked a certain way. I think before it regarded the ending buffer, but not a beginning buffer, something like that.
Right. Well, there's that, and then there's also, so this would be the settings. So like when you're editing your calendar, the calendar settings, this is where the buffer time is.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the next slide, it kind of shows what happened before and how it works now. And the biggest thing is that it's taking into account events that are on your calendar that aren't in HighLevel. So that was kind of a problem that we encountered where it was buffering appointments that you had on HighLevel, but what if you had a dentist appointment that went a little bit over or what have you? Now it's kind of taking more things into account.
So, that's right. I misrecalled. So now the buffers are respected even for bookings coming from outside calendars.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Nice one.
Yep.
Another cool one. So now, if you've got your chat widget in live chat mode, this is something that's always worked auto magically, I would say, for the other
Mhm.
channels, and now live chat is just sort of caught up. But
Yeah.
for those of you who may not know, if you're having a conversation and somebody enters in a phone number or an email into the conversation, the system automatically stores that to the contact record. So it's a
Yeah.
pretty cool way to like conversationally get details into the record.
Yeah, especially if you're, like, on the road, maybe you're texting them, and, of course, now with live chat, you can do this with a bunch of different channels where you can just ask them for their email address and not have to copy and paste it into their contact, and then on the next screen, we're showing, like, where that gets updated, so it just kinda
Hmm.
happens instantly, pulls it right in, makes it super nice.
Yeah, and so this is pretty cool. If you haven't played with this before, you can do stuff that works really well. Like for example, I remember setting up an Instagram DM automation where it was like the bio said, "Hey, DM us this keyword to get whatever a PDF or something." So you've got the automation waiting for that keyword to come in, and then you have a reply that says, "Hey, thanks for claiming our thing. What's your best email so I can send you the PDF or whatever?" And
Yep.
then you can wait for the reply and then do an if else to check if the email field is empty or not. If it's empty, then ask again. If not, so you can really automate a conversational way to gather those details into the record. So pretty powerful. If you haven't played with it, give it a whirl.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we have next here. Communities. You can now search members by email, uh,
Yeah.
which is very convenient. And then we also got a leaderboard enhancement.
Yeah, so leaderboard enhancement, I was kind of disappointed in this actually because I was the top performer in the content army community. But now admins are no longer counted to try to incentivize other people to kind of climb the ranks within the gamification feature. So admins, sorry, but you no longer get to wear the crown. You need to incentivize your users to be participating in the communities.
And that's cool. That just makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Next up, another calendar update. So calendars can now take partial payments, and this is really cool. This got a really great reaction. A lot of people are excited about this. Where
Mhm.
essentially you're making a booking, you want to take a deposit, let's say, or a down payment, but not collect the whole amount. So walk us through how this works. It charges the deposit up front, and then it creates an invoice, right, for the
Yeah.
remainder.
Yeah, so exactly what you're saying, where there's kind of like a pay now thing, to get on the call, and then there'll be an invoice, for the remaining payment. This is gonna kind of translate throughout too, so that, you can put down a deposit on, let's say you're doing a big event and you take a 20% deposit, you can do that within invoices, and this is kind of bringing that functionality into the calendar, for a little bit less formal, payments.
And I asked the team, and they said, yeah, it'll come in one of the updates to this, where you'll be able to actually automatically run the invoice after the appointment time and date. So that's pretty cool, right? You'll be able to
Yeah.
take the deposit and then have it auto collect the rest. Um, but this is a huge first step, right? I think partial payments are something that people have been excited about for a while. And
Yeah.
so I'm sure we'll see this to continue to roll out to the other payment products in the near future,
Yeah.
which is great. Kevin, thanks for saying hey over in YouTube. When will we be able to SaaS mode with other merchants, NMI specifically? Very soon. So the payment gateways are all opening wide up this quarter. So by the end of Q2, you should be able to do SaaS mode in with any payment provider and any gateway that you'd like. So not too far away. And then Facebook user, your name didn't come through, but thanks for saying hey. And let's check out the next update. We've got funnels and websites, one-click migration to Cloudflare. This is cool. So last week we
Mhm.
talked about how we've got the new Cloudflare CDN running. If you had an existing domain that you wanted to put it on it, you had to go delete it and remake it. Well, now the easy button, here we are less than a week later. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. I've tried it out. It works really well. It's super convenient. And again, just if you haven't heard of it, this is kind of like a big update that's very much under the hood. But it's kind of like putting supercharger on your engine, and you may not see it, but you definitely feel it. and I've seen a huge increase in a couple of the sites that we had moved over internally. Everything's working a lot faster, so love seeing
Definitely.
that.
For sure. So if you've got old domain set up, go hit that button. It'll put it on the new CDN and you should see a nice little speed boost.
Absolutely.
Great update. Okay, so this is just more
Yeah.
screenshots of that. Okay, this is a new one. Documents and contracts. So document management within the contact detail view. So this is pretty cool, right? We're looking at a contact, and at the top right, we've got a documents tab, and now we can do things with the document without having to actually go to documents.
Yeah. So bringing simple functionality like grabbing the link, downloading it, viewing the source, etc. So making less switches between the different modules within the app is super helpful. So excited to see
Yeah,
this
that's
one.
a nice one. I
Hmm.
didn't even see that roll out. That's sweet. Next up, we've got, oh, this is the big one, right? So
Hmm.
conversations and workflows, Facebook and Instagram comment and DM automation, essentially ManyChat like features, where we can now automate, say, okay, comment below with a keyword, and then you can automate a DM to that person. Um, Bypasses the 24-hour rule. Just a really powerful way for people to do marketing off of social media.
Yeah. This is definitely a huge feature, and one that you definitely want to kind of understand the policies of Facebook and everything, and how you can bypass that 24-hour window for certain types of automations, or for DM automations, and some limitations there. So it's super super powerful, but you also just kind of dig in and understand how you want to most effectively use it, because we are giving you a little bit more power here. So be wise with how you use it. You definitely don't want to get into Facebook jail by
Thank you,
using
Uncle Ben. Uh, but a great point. And so now we can do all this rich media stuff. We can, add buttons to our messages and whatnot. But
it.
we can
Hmm.
also, like, I saw somebody in Facebook today post, they did something really cool with this where they're essentially, they would say, okay, comment on my post. And then in a workflow, they would have ChatGPT read that comment, basically understand it, spin up a reply, and then have it fire back the reply to the comment. And
Hmm.
I was like, wow, this is crazy. And you can, right in the action here on the right, we can see if you add more than one reply, it'll actually randomize them for you, which
Hmm.
is cool. So like, you don't even really need to do the chat GPT thing. You could just set a pool that it'll randomize between. But I just thought that was cool how they took it even further with chat GPT.
Yeah.
So huge deal. If you haven't tested it out yet, it's pretty awesome. You can just automate replies or DMs to people who post on your Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and Instagram Reels. I tested it with Reels and it works for Reels as well. And then the team will roll it out for other types in the near future. But big
Yeah.
step.
Huge, huge one.
Oh, this is another big one. So ecom now has shipping and delivery rates for stores. And the way this works is pretty cool. You basically create zones, and then you set your rates. So, you know, you I don't think anyone would actually bundle the US and the UK together into one zone, but let's say you had UK zone and you wanted to charge anything going to the UK a specific price. You set your range here, and you can even do free shipping. So if you leave that maximum empty, basically anything above the minimum amount will be free. So it's pretty cool. Is there another screenshot of what this looks like?
Yeah, there's two more. One is just showing that implemented, and then the last one, this is kind of a big one actually, where you can set a maximum price to activate free shipping. So
Oh, this
they
is before they fixed it. This was actually my
I'm sorry.
my this is me
We
requesting
just got added into their screenshot. So yeah,
that. No, you
that
don't need
I
this
guess that's coming.
anymore because there's a default placeholder in there now that says basically leave blank if you want it to be everything above.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's more intuitive than this. Go check it out. It'll make sense when you go to set up your rates.
right on.
Next up, so across the CRM, we got a time zone and date time format standardization, which is pretty cool. So now anywhere you go, you should see the date and the time formatted in the same way.
Yeah, and there's one more screenshot of what that looks like. But yeah, basically we're going for uniformity here to eliminate confusion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. Convenient one. We got a new workflow trigger. So there's now a new trigger for subscription. So you can trigger off subscriptions and all of their statuses, which is awesome, right? So for recurring invoices and SaaS mode, we can now
yeah,
fire things off based on subscriptions starting, um, ending, I guess, whatever all the other statuses are available.
yeah. And then there's all kinds of reasons that you'd want to have like subscription specific stuff. But in the next couple of screens, you can see like we can incorporate this into conditions for if else.
Hmm.
So when maybe somebody cancels or there's other statuses, they move from trial to subscription, or to not into the subscription. There's different ways that you can kind of modify that. And then on top of that, we've got custom values, or I should say custom fields, depending on your point of view. We're standardizing that, but you can also include those into emails, and so forth. So that'll
Oh,
make it
wow.
nice
That's awesome.
for building that. And
Yeah,
then in
wow.
this,
I didn't even see this one. This is great. So you could basically say, okay, if their subscription is more than this amount, I want them to go down this path.
mhm,
Very cool.
yeah. And then in a very similar way, we have the same kind of setup for payment refund triggers. So I know I've dealt with refunds plenty in my days, and this is kind of nice for using the same types of workflow actions and custom trigger, or I should say, and custom values for putting together emails for refunds and so forth. So
Yeah,
another
that's
really
nice.
powerful feature there.
Just disclose a lot of data. And so, yeah, now you got full control over all your messaging around that stuff. That's great.
Hmm. Yep.
Nice one.
Yep.
And then here, that was also the refund values in an email. Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Workflow's got another update this week. GPT powered by OpenAI upgrade. So that ChatGPT workflow action I was just talking about became even more powerful this week.
Yeah. There's a few new action types within it. So it can now analyze the text sentiment. So it can generate like an analysis of the input. It can summarize the text. You can do a translation to different languages, and then you also have the option to have a custom write your own prompt. If you are a prompt ninja, you got everything you need to roll with that. So lots of new options with that workflow action there.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, Next up, we got an importer update. So we've got the Kajabi course importer, and now you can also import email templates from Kajabi as well. Pretty handy.
Yeah. So imports them as HTML. They look really good. I think I forgot to put a screenshot of the actual email, but just trust me, it looks amazing. But that just kind of shows the process. It doesn't just do it and hope for the best. It kind of steps you through there so that you understand what's going on. And
Nice.
I
I love
think,
it. Makes
yeah,
it way easier to bring clients over, or if you're migrating yourself, to
mhm,
bring everything with you.
yeah. So that's kind of it. We got a couple other some minor enhancements and so forth. We did a bunch of security stuff, which we don't always talk about, but there have been a lot of platform security, and a couple of tweaks we did to the template builder. Actually, this one's a bit of an update for me because the drag and drop functionality for template builders has always been kind of
Mm.
wonky, and they fixed a lot of that. So happy to see that get ironed out.
Yeah, that was a nice one for sure.
Hmm.
All right. Well, we've reached that part of the show where we get to talk about what we're most excited that's coming down the line in the near
Yeah.
future. You got a good one for us, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm gonna do two because we got a bunch of stuff. One is that there's some new updates coming to the funnel and website page builder, and what I thought was really cool about this is that the team actually analyzed all the custom CSS that's being used platform wide, and that's how they prioritize some of these new features that are coming. It's like what's the most used custom CSS
Hmm.
that we can just do natively within the builder. And so we're going to see stuff like font weight customization, animations, a lot of different animation stuff is going to be coming. So I was really thrilled about that, just to kind of see how they approach that. I mean, it's really smart, and it really kind of addresses the most amount of people possible that are kind of having these custom wonky workarounds to things. And
Yeah,
then the
that's
second
cool.
is that there is going to be a huge countdown timer revamp coming pretty soon.
Yes.
And I know
That
there's
should
going
be
to be,
coming really soon because I feel like they've been working on that for a while now.
yeah. So I'm excited about this, but you can kind of think about it in terms of like a global, dynamic countdown timer that can work in like emails and across the entire platform, and not just limited to one funnel page. So,
Yes, it's actually
yep.
moving out of funnels and it's gonna be its own, like, marketing tab item where you can create a timer and then use it anywhere, which is
Hmm.
awesome, right? Because if you've ever done that type of marketing, you can send out an email that's like, "Hey, you better act now because look, the countdown, is almost over," and then when they click through, they see that same timer in sync on the page,
Yeah.
which is
And
fantastic.
biggest thing there is that it helps with the trust factor, because you're
Mm,
not just like saying, "Oh, you restarting a timer every time somebody hits a page." It's like a true timer
yeah,
that you're holding yourself accountable to it, and not just trying to create scarcity where it doesn't exist.
totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so my most excited coming soon is RCS messaging. So this is happening way faster than I think anybody
Yeah.
thought. This is a cool one. So, and this is something that Sean has been really excited about for a long time, and everybody else is like, man, it doesn't really matter because Apple doesn't do it, right? So, an RCS message is almost like you know a Facebook message where you can put buttons into it, rich media. You can have call to actions like in the text message. Um, it's like text messaging on steroids, and Android phones do it, but Apple phones don't. And they had historically said they're never going to support this type or whatever. And then a couple of months ago, they reversed their position and said that next year, I think they were going to do it or something. And now I
Mhm.
think that even got pulled forward. And it sounds like in the coming months, Apple's going to start um, allowing RCS messaging in iMessage or text messaging on Apple phones, I guess.
Yeah. So this will probably come out with iOS 18, which is likely to be revealed at the Worldwide Developer Conference in June. So we should
Mm,
definitely
that
see
makes
some
sense.
beta versions of this going out pretty quick. And then by the end of the year, which is typically when they release the public release of iOS, of the next iOS, which would be 18, that it'll be kind of like worldwide available, hopefully. So yeah, a
And the
lot of
team is
interesting.
already on it, which is most exciting. Like they have it up
Yeah,
and working in HighLevel, and so they're just like QAing that thing, and it's going to be ready to roll. So we're going to be ahead of that. So
yeah,
basically,
we're essentially just going to be like teed up, just ready to whack that ball and just drive it down. So it's going to be. I really love how the team got ahead of this, and we're not just reacting to things that are changing. We're actually going to be like lined up, ready to go, and be able to deliver that to all of our customers.
and it sounds like, which is really awesome because I thought it would be more involved. Like I imagined you'd have to build workflows that, if they have RCS, send this, and if not, send a regular text. But it's actually just the same text message action with more options. And if the
Hmm.
person doesn't have it, it just sends the stuff that goes like the regular text stuff. And if they do, it all goes. So it's really going to be an awesome update. You're not really going to have to change anything. It's just you can actually do more now in the SMS action, including calls to action. So I really think this is going to be huge. I mean, this is really going to empower marketers to do even more through SMS marketing. And now with A2P weeding out spam, I mean, it's pretty exciting. I think the world of SMS marketing is really about to go hyperdrive.
Absolutely, totally agree.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it for this week. As always, let us know in the comments what your favorite release of the week is, and have a great one until we see you next Friday.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see ya.